Good morning. My name is Annkio Briggs, and you're tuned to Saving the Niger Delta with Annkio Briggs on 89.9 FM, Garden City Radio Station. Your station, my station, the station that tells the station of Style and Groove, Groove and Style, where we broadcast from, and also Saving the Niger Delta with Annkio Briggs broadcasts on truth, on facts, and we stand firmly on the things that we believe in, things to do with River State, Niger Delta states, the Niger Delta region, and Nigeria as a country where we are for now. I always like to put that for now because, quite honestly, there are always options in life, and we must respect those options that we have, and use the options credibly for the good of our people, for the good of our states, for the good of our region, for the good of what God has blessed us with, our resources. Now, on that note, of course, this program is dedicated to God because this program has been on since 2012, and this program cannot continue, could not have started even without God being involved in the program, and therefore the program is dedicated to Him because He is truth, and we speak truth. Today is the 3rd of June. We have come a very, very long way. A lot has happened that has made us to realize that our lives, our hands, everything about us as human beings is in the hands of God, and that really and truly, no matter what happens, God is in absolute and total control, and that the more we get to know Him and the more we get to realize that we didn't create ourselves, we begin to respect and live in awe of where we find ourselves and who really is in control of our lives. Now, having said that, a lot have happened all over the world, particularly in the United States of America. Now, that is being mentioned because what has happened in America over a very, very long period of time, or against the black people, or as Papa will say, there is no black, there is no white, there are human beings. We are Africans, and then we are Africans of our own ethnic nationalities, in our own state, in our own local government, in the case of Nigeria, in our own geopolitical zone as it is today. Now, what I've been watching, what has happened in the past 8 days, 9 days in America, and I have watched it based on the fact that I try to relate it to what we have endured and unfortunately continue to endure as a people in Nigeria that was created by Lugard. At the time that Lugard created Nigeria, you had Christians and you had Muslims. At the time that Lugard created Nigeria, everybody that is in Nigeria today, apart from the part of Nigeria that voted, had a referendum, a plebiscite that went with Cameroon, apart from those people, the people that are in Nigeria today, apart from people who keep migrating into Nigeria out under the cover of their kith and kin that are in Nigeria, and continue the migration bid into Nigeria. But when Lugard created Nigeria, we had established people who got to believe in the living God and then some people who continue to maintain what a lot of people call traditional religion, and then the Islamic religion and the Muslims. So basically we had atheists, and we still do, people who don't believe at all in anything, and then we have the people who believe in the living God, which is Christians, and then we have the people who believe in God, but their own is Islam, and so by that time we were already established people. So we are not today getting up to be Christians. No, we have the people that were Christians then remain Christians, the people, or some may not have, and the people who were not Christians have converted to Christianity or any other religion. So I began to relate what African Americans are going through, have been going through in America. And of course, by so doing, I was reminded of the fact that what happened in America was that a lot of Africans in other African countries, but let's stay with Nigeria, a lot of Africans were kidnapped in those days, put in ships and cargoed across oceans, and were taken to outside of Africa as slaves. Now, some of these people that were kidnapped were princes and princesses, high rollers in those days of our ethnic nationalities, the people that we are descendants of today, in the different countries of Africa where slave trade was going on. So African Americans, as they are today, and we saw that very clearly when Obama became the president of America, and Obama is a direct son of a man that went to America to study and ended up marrying an American woman and having a child with her, who became Barack Obama. And so the fact, therefore, that the Africans in America have gone through a lot as African Americans or Black Americans in America is not a hypothetical story. It is not an imaginary story. It is a reality to people of color in America. It's also known that most of the people of color, i.e. Descendants of African Americans that are highly educated and hold really very strong positions in every area of development, whether it be health, within the healthcare, within the whether it is within the area of developing things that we use today. Even my own uncle, who is now late, who is Jamabo Abel Briggs, went to America before independence, I believe, and eventually he is actually registered in America as an inventor. He invented something that is being used in America when it comes to education. If anybody cares to Google it or to check it, they will find it. But maybe in the future I will bring it up. But what I'm trying to say, therefore, is that anybody who looks at the color of your skin and looks down on you have no right to do so. They do that out of the evil that is in them. They do that out of the wickedness that is in them, because they are not better than you because of the color of their skin. And so blacks, if you like, Africans, if you like, have been going through this. Now, the reason why I always choose to relate it to Nigeria is that it is very similar to what we, people of the Delta area, people who were in the Delta area when the so-called white man came. Now, if you got in a boat and sailed across 2-3 oceans to get to me in the Niger Delta, to get to me at a point wherever I or my descendants were, and I say I because I came from them, wherever you found my descendants, whoever you are, Mongopat, whatever you call yourself, when you got to places that is today identified as Boni, identified as Opobo, as Finima, as Ikwere, as Ibibio, as Efik, as please, if I don't mention your ethnic nationality, forgive me, but it just goes to show that we are so many. As either they met you as Isoko people, anywhere that you were met, you were not discovered. I've always believed that. You were not discovered, you were not found. They came to where you were. So we must have that in our heads. So I relate it to what we are going through in Nigeria, because especially in the South, but I'm going to restrict myself to what today, whether we had Western region, Northern region, Midwest, whether we had Eastern region, no matter the region, these regions were still created around us, and we were now encircled and identified in those regions. Now, the fact still remains that where I am today, in Abonima, where Boni people are, where Finima, Opobo, Ikwere people, where anybody is found today, is geographically some of these areas, the riverine areas particularly, whether you like it or not, is the mangrove area, is the creeks area, and is the swamp area. Therefore, it is described as a delta. It is described as a delta that is in a place geographically that is also described as the Niger. So whether one white man they came and now called it Niger or whatever it is, that is the identity today. And therefore, that does not take away anything from me as an Ijaw person, as a Kalabari person, Ikwere people, Ogoni people, anybody. Nothing takes away anything from whom they are as an ethnic nationality. Despite whatever name it is called, we can change the name today. Like Abonima is one name for my community. Inyemoni is a Kalabari word. It is also for my community. So you can't tell me that I should not rise up and claim my identity, whatever that identity is to anybody. So coming back to what is happening in America, we must begin to recognize, while we support Black Lives Matter, I would even prefer that we call it African American Lives Matter, but maybe because of word, and it is their movement. So Black Lives Matter, we support it. We of the Niger Delta self-determination movement, we support the Black Lives Matter movement, and we also use right on the back of that realization to now push the fact that Niger Delta lives matter, Ikwere life matter, Ogoni life matter, Isoko life matter. Every ethnic nationality in the Niger Delta region or South region, I don't care what they call it politically, I am who I am. But the word or the name does not enslave me. I hold on to that identity because for now, that is the identity. You cannot change your identity with the name. I mean, you cannot change it and now say we have a Republic of Ijaw today when we have not gone through the process of changing our where we are today in Nigeria. In the future, if everything else fails and it's looking like that, that will change. But that will be by our choice, not by anybody else. Now, so if Black Lives Matter in Africa, in the United States of America, and if you monitor the news like I do on the news media, and you go to the international news media, you will find and see what is going on all over the world. Britain have joined, Amnesty have joined, a lot of voices are being raised. I have no doubt that the EU will join. I have no doubt that the United Nations will join. All over the world, people are saying that Black Lives Matter. Then we, the Niger Delta Self-Determination Movement, have also said that Niger Delta lives matter. Ijaw life matter, Ogoni life matter, all these lives, they matter. So we're coming up with another angle of that, because in Nigeria today, Christians have been killed in their tens of thousands in the past 5-7 years. So the lives of Christians matter. The right of Christians matter.